Welcome to Gracefully Grading. I'm your host, Attorney Henry Gornbein. Today on Gracefully Grading, I am very pleased to welcome as our guest Kari Provizer from Temple, Israel, who is the director of the Robert Sosnick Family Life Center. Kari, welcome to Gracefully Grading.
Thank you, Henry. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I mean, you do so many wonderful things, and I'm really honored to have you on. So why don't you first of all tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and your background.
So I am Kari Provizer. I am the director of the Robert Sosnick Family Life Center at Temple, Israel. I have been here for 29 years. It is an incredible place. I got my master's of social work from the University of Michigan, go Blue. And I do lots of different things at Temple. I oversee all of the support groups. I deal with crisis intervention and short-term problem solving. I help all of our clergy. I do lots of senior programming and anything that really has to do with families.
You've been here for over 29 years. How did it happen?
So it's really a pretty incredible story. We had an amazing, very philanthropic, brilliant man in our community named Robert Sosnick. And he approached Rabbi Harold Loss because he knew that our clergy needed some help with possibly triaging all of the crisis and the problems that come to them. So when I was hired, it was originally on a one-year grant. I was very fortunate to be able to go into all of our members' homes and do a needs assessment and talk to them about the things that they wanted from their temple, maybe that they weren't getting. And we know everyone comes to Temple in their times of joy, but what about in their times of trouble and their times of crisis? Do they turn to their rabbis and their clergy? And they do. So Bobby Sosnick, who had such a vision, wanted to create a center where people could go for help at any time of their journey when they're at Temple from birth until death. And that's where I came in.
The focus of our show today, Kari, is going to be about something that's near and dear to you, and that is 5 wishes for your family as you are aging. And, you know, I'm not aging, I'm old already, but let's talk about, first of all, why is it important to have 5 wishes for your family as you are growing older or at any age?
So we all know that aging is challenging. It has its challenges, right? And when we're facing some type of unexpected health crisis or trying to help a loved one navigate it, our entire world is affected and we can't think right. When we're thrown into sudden challenges or trying to help a loved one navigate a healthcare crisis, it can be all consuming. So if you take care of these steps ahead of time, it makes it so much easier on everybody around you to know what your wishes are. So I found this incredible tool. It is called the 5 Wishes. It's a very small pamphlet that you can sit with your family member, your loved one, your friend, and fill it out. You have an amazing, incredible conversation piece, and it walks you through each step of what your wishes will be as you age. It also empowers your loved one to make these care choices prior to a crisis. So it brings you to the forefront of the discussion with them, and it helps you navigate their aging process together.
You know, this is so important. I think it's hard to look at the future. It's hard to think that something could happen, but something can happen, something will happen. But let's start. And I know I read through the booklet. I have the booklet, and it is very simple. It is very concise. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that it starts with a care center involving Mother Teresa, actually. So first of all, why don't you tell our viewers about the importance of the first which is choosing a person to make care decisions when you can no longer do so.
So just to reiterate, for families, it makes their wishes known. And in writing, it helps take the guesswork out for anybody. It also takes the guilt away, and it provides great comfort and assurance to the family members. So If you don't designate the person you want to make healthcare decisions for you, someone else is going to be chosen and you're not going to have that choice. So if they choose someone who doesn't know your wishes, they're going to make decisions for you that maybe you did not okay or that are not okay for you. So it's so important for all of us, regardless of our age. I want my friends to do it. It doesn't matter if we're in good health. We need to have a plan that documents our healthcare wishes in case we become unable to make important treatment choices and decisions, or what if we're unable to communicate those choices? So for families, it really is so important to get this in writing right now. You have to choose someone who knows you very well, who cares about you, who can make difficult decisions for you. So you have to think about that. Maybe a spouse or a family member is the right person, but maybe they're not. These are things that we have to think about. Maybe someone might be too emotionally involved or too emotionally attached. You also want to choose someone who can stand up for you, that to make sure that all of your wishes have been followed. Also, you have to choose someone who's likely to be nearby because you want them to be able to be present when anything happens. Um, they should also be at least 18 years old. Some states, they do require them to be 21 years old. And just make sure this care agent, whoever they are, you talk to them and they really understand and know what you want.
It's so important. Let's
Yeah.
now go to the second wish, which is what about the kind of medical treatment one wants or does not want? I mean, do you want just to be comfortable? Do you want emergency care? I mean, this is so important.
So the personal, the emotional, the spiritual, as well as the medical and legal are all wrapped up in the 5 wishes. And as you go through the booklet with your loved one, you will see that. It provides the means to legally document a healthcare surrogate, choices for medical treatment, comfort and care wishes, as well as what you want your loved one to know. So, what you want to keep in mind is, you don't want to be in pain, right? Most of us do not want to live with any pain. They want to be as comfortable as possible. So wish number 3 will say, what will make me the most comfortable as we go on? I want to be offered food and fluids by mouth if possible. All of these are discussions that you can have as you go through this process. You want to be kept clean. You want to be kept warm. You don't want anything done, or these are the things that you do want done. So all of these decisions are going to be documented in this document for you.
It's so important because, the truth is we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I hear more and more, especially as I'm aging, about people who are, suddenly become incapacitated. It can be due to a stroke. It can be due to cancer. It can be due to uh, cognitive issues, especially more and more people are fighting dementia and Alzheimer's. So these are all reasons why you want these 5 wishes, these important legal and medical directives. What about the next one, which is how you want to be treated by others, Kari?
So 5 wishes will help you to communicate what you want or what you don't want. That's the most important part of it, is you stating what you want and what you don't want. It guides discussions with your loved ones, so it's a very easy format to follow. I personally did it with my dad, and we had some really good discussions around and things that I wouldn't have known unless I had these conversations with him. So it really changed the way we talked about advanced care planning, and it focuses on what matters most to you. I wish to have people with me when possible, or maybe I don't want to have people with me when possible. So I want someone to be with me when it seems that death may come at any time. I wish to have my hand held. I want to be touched or I don't want to be touched. I want to be talked to when possible, even if I don't seem to be able to respond with voice or with touch. I wish to have others by my side praying or saying the Misha Berach with me when possible. All of these are things that you can discuss when you do this with your loved one. I wish to have a member of my faith community or my rabbi, my clergy with me when I'm sick. Or maybe you don't want them to visit. I wish to be visited by people. I wish to be cared for with people who are kind and cheerful. All of these are things that you can ask for when you do this. I always tell people put pictures around, have pictures of your family surrounding you, have colorful pictures of things in your life that you loved, and have music playing. And these are all the things that you can talk about with your loved one. What name they want to be called by? Is there a nickname that they loved? Or is there their favorite song or music that they want playing? Um, do they want to die at home? Is that something that's important to them? So, all of these are really, really important topics and questions that you can talk about.
Before we get to the last wish, how do you get people to discuss these things? I mean, it's really hard for people to talk about things like this, and many people are just very, very uncomfortable. So, what advice would you give to someone, Carrie, about sitting down with family members or perhaps a close friend to discuss some of these five wishes and get someone to start doing them?
So, we all know that it's not easy to talk about dying. It is not something that we love to talk about. But what do people typically want? They want to die at home. They want to be free from pain. They want to be in company of their loved ones. And they want to retain control of the care they receive and to age with dignity. And aging with dignity is the most important thing. If you find a time that's a nice, quiet time that you can go sit with your loved one and you say, I just heard about this phenomenal program. I would love to just sit and talk to you about it. The contrast of reality, Henry, it's that less than 25% of Americans die at home, although more than 70% of those Americans say that is their wish. Dying is often unnecessarily painful and it's isolating and it's scary. And only 20 to 30% of our population has completed an advance directive, which is crazy because we don't want to think about it, right? It's that scary thing that we don't want to talk about. So I think it's so important to encourage your loved ones, work on this, take time, talk to each other, see what we want. It's really good to have these conversations and to know the things that you want as we go through this aging journey together.
Let's get to the fifth wish, which is what would you want your loved ones to know? I mean, do you want your loved ones to know all about you, all your skeletons? I mean, let's discuss this. I don't mean to be humorous, but
No,
humor helps sometimes.
it absolutely does help sometimes. I agree. So the five wishes will go through. If anyone asks how I want to be remembered, please say the following about me. Is there to be a memorial service or a funeral? What are your wishes for that? I wish for the service to include. A lot of people, and I didn't realize this, will go talk to their clergy ahead of time and tell them, this is what I want included in my funeral. These are the things I want said about me. These are the songs and the readings and all the different things that we want. How beautiful to be able to do that with your family so they know what you want. Also, how important is it for your healthcare providers to understand what your wishes are? You wish to have your family and friends know that you love them. You want to be forgiven for things, anyone that you've hurt. I want my family and friends to know that I don't fear death, or if I do fear death, and what my wishes are for that. And it's not the end, but maybe a new beginning. And maybe there's a way to talk about those trajectories in a different way. I wish for my family members, if there's any conflict in the family, make peace with each other. These are all the things that you can talk about with your loved ones as you complete these 5 wishes. Think about me before I got sick. Remember the things about me before I was sick and had to navigate these journeys. These are all the things that you can talk about. Also, talking about caregivers and what you want caregivers to do for you. The things that, even if you don't agree with them, you need to have them in writing. Um, Talk about personal growth. Talk about meaningful lives and how much they meant for you. Talk about bereavement and how that's going to look and getting help if you need it. All of these are things that you can talk about with your loved ones before the crisis hits. And it also helps them to die with dignity. And that's the most important thing. We know that.
Really is important. And it's like, I'm seeing trends more and more. It's like people now want, when I was a kid, I lost my mother at a fairly young age, and we sat Shiva for 7 days. Now people sit Shiva for 3 days, often one day. And now, since COVID, what's happening more and more, you see people who will be sitting Shiva at temple or at other spots rather than in a home. So there's definitely a change that's going on. It's, Kari, this is such an important topic. You're covering it well. And it's like, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, but the more we can prepare for it, the more we can cover these 5 wishes and get our wishes in writing so that people will know what we want. And so that instead of someone telling me what is important, I can tell others what is important to me and what is important to my loved ones. So this is such an important conversation, and I really appreciate it. Now I'd like to ask you, what are some other activities or programs that you are involved in that you would like our viewers to know about?
So, one of my most favorite programs that has started since we came back from COVID is our adult health and fitness classes. They are incredible. Um, at Temple Israel, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4 o'clock, we have a personal trainer who leads a chair exercise class, but don't let that fool you. It is not easy. We have between 30 and 40 very vibrant seniors who come every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon to exercise. And it has become a wonderful place for them to be. They absolutely love it. I have a lot of support groups at Temple. We have a bereavement group. We have a wonderful Zoom caregiver group that we do with the Alzheimer's Association the last Tuesday of every month. And that is on Zoom, so caregivers have the ability to sign in right from their home. We have Recharge, Rejuvenate yoga classes. We have a Kamach baking club. We have a knitting club. We have a food pantry that we are looking for volunteers the second and fourth Thursday of every month. We hand out food to over 120 families, and it is growing by every minute. We also have the Wayne Mobile Health Unit in our parking lot providing free health to anyone who comes. They do blood pressure checks and diabetes checks, and they have COVID vaccines and flu vaccines and COVID tests. And that's right in our parking lot, along with the mobile health unit, along with the food pantry, on the second and fourth Tuesday and Thursday of the month. There's so much going on and so many things, and we are welcoming people into our community, into the congregation with open arms, and we would love to see you all.
It's amazing, and you're doing an amazing job because uh, many of us know it, but Temple Israel is the largest Reform congregation in the country. I believe, at least one of the rabbis told me, it was number 2 in the world. So it continues to grow. I know there's a fundraising now, an endowment program that's starting, and there's a lot of creativity. And Kari, you're very creative, and you're doing a lot of amazing things. And really, all I can say is keep up the good work. I know this is going to be a shorter program than usual. Is there anything else you would like to cover for our viewers before we sign off? Are there
Yeah,
some
so I just want to reiterate how important it is to define your loved one's medical wishes so you can honor their decisions should that need arise. Be compassionate, address their concerns openly. While this is necessary and a very, very important conversation to have, it also brings up a lot of feelings of fear and vulnerability for them. No one likes to think about their end of life. So, some ideas that I keep thinking of that when you talk to them, respect that this is a difficult decision for them and let them know that. Make sure that you set up a plan the way you want it. Thank them for being open and talking with you about it. Tell them you know how hard it is. Acknowledge that you can get through it together. Sort out the details now so you have the plan, and then maybe tell them, let's go do something fun. We want to make sure that you are taken care of in the same way that you took care of me, is a really good way to phrase that if it's a parent. And listen, really, really listen to what they're saying and discuss the plan of action for their care needs. Don't forget to listen. As you're talking to them, consider some questions. Could they be masking any anger or fear? It's a good way to kind of talk about that. Are there things that they regret that they hope to change before they're gone? Are there things that you could help them with? Did they have any unmet goals that they want to achieve or any bucket list items that haven't been fulfilled? That's a fun way to talk about it. And take the opportunity with them, seek closure on the things that they cannot change, because there are going to be a lot of things they can't change. Find tools and resources for them that can improve their quality of life. Sometimes we forget about that there are things out there that can really help improve their quality of life. Ask about their feelings a lot and offer helpful suggestions after they've had an opportunity to share this. I'm available to talk. Your clergy are always available to talk. Call Henry Gornbein. He's a good one to talk to. Once all these issues are out of the way and you have this completed with them, it's going to become easier to talk about anything moving forward. So this will open the conversation for future conversations, and take the journey with them together. Love them and be with them, and just create an environment of understanding, kindness, and love, and it will go a really long way.
That's so important. Let me ask you this, though, Kari. What do you do when families disagree about a lot of these issues? How do you get them together? How do you get them on the same page? And I know that's not uncommon.
It is very, very common, but that's why it's so important for you to sit with your loved one and know what their wishes are and document it, because then it doesn't matter if the families agree or not. So this takes away the guesswork. This takes away the fighting and the arguments and the guilt, which is the most important thing, I think. So if you have these conversations now, you aren't going to have the fights and the arguments later.
That's so important. Are there any final thoughts you can share with us before we sign off?
I'm so happy that you had me here. I do have these available at Temple. For Temple members, they are free. I have to charge a nominal fee if you are not a Temple member. I think it's $1.50. But if anybody needs these or wants to talk more about the 5 wishes or needs someone to sit with you, I am available. And it is a wonderful tool to navigate this aging journey.
It's so important, and you do such an admirable, wonderful job, and you've really explained these 5 wishes very, very well. And Kari, I want to thank you so much for being our guest on Gracefully Graying. And of course, I want to thank our viewers for watching Gracefully Graying, and of course, our sponsors for making Gracefully Graying possible, as well as Bloomfield Cablevision, of course. Thank you so much. And again, 5 wishes. My wish for the person I want to make care decisions for me when I can't, the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want, how comfortable I want to be, how I want people to treat me, and last but not least, what I want my loved ones to know. So important and so simple. Thank you again.